Hello, 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 hello. Just getting set up. So, welcome. If you watch this now or watch this later, welcome to the channel. Hello, Sonia. Uh, Thanks for jumping on. I don't know what's happened there, but something's come on screen. I don't want that. So, today is going to be a Reiki Q&A session. I've had quite a few questions, or I've seen lots of questions online on various platforms about Reiki. So I thought I would do a live, jump on here and answer some of them. So I've got about 15 questions written down. So I don't know how long they're going to take, but if you've got any questions along the way that you want to add, or if you watch this after the video has been live, then please comment in the descriptions box or in the comment section even, and put your question there, and I'll make another video or I'll answer it in the questions box. So all that being said, let's get into it because I don't know how long this is going to be, because I've got quite a lot of questions. 15 questions is quite a lot, and it's quite a broad spectrum of questions as well. So starting with question number one, what is Reiki and how does it work? So, Reiki is a hands on, hands off, or distance healing modality. Much like other forms of healing, it's a healing modality that was an energy that was rediscovered by a Buddhist monk named Mikao Usui. And since then, since his rediscovering of it, because Reiki's been used kind of before then, it's used in another modality called Sekim, which is an Egyptian healing modality. They talked about Jesus, the Buddha, and it's basically this universal life force that flows through each and every one of us. And when you become attuned and you learn Reiki and you learn how to work with the Reiki and feel the energy, then you can use it. But that's basically what it is. It is a form of energy healing, to bring balance to your mind, body, and spirit, to bring relaxation, and basically just to make you feel better. And it's something that should be or can be incorporated into every single day with the various principles that are behind Reiki as well. There's a lot of philosophy behind Reiki as well, but I don't want to get too much into that. That's more if you want to learn Reiki, get more into the depths of what it is. But how does it work? This is another interesting comment that I had on one of my videos, and they wanted me to basically explain how does it work. Basically, it's what happens during a Reiki session, whether it's, well, let's go into contact first. To contact Reiki. So contact Reiki, basically, you are a client, a recipient, you've paid for your session, you go along to visit your Reiki practitioner, you have a little discussion beforehand, what you would like to get out of the session, and then basically lay on the therapy table or massage table or sometimes seated. And what the practitioner does is they will lay their hands on parts of your body, sometimes chakra points or energy centers, such as the crown, third eye, throat, heart, and so on, or just where they're intuitively drawn to. So if they've been doing energy healing for quite some time, then they may just feel an intuitive pull to a certain part of the body. Or if you're experiencing a lot of pain in one area of the body, then they can just give Reiki and place their hands on that point of the body. And usually, what will happen during that is you'll feel extremely relaxed, you'll feel quite drowsy, you might feel like you want to nod off. That's also fine. You may feel a lot of heat, you might see colors, you might feel a tingling sensation around the body. And all of these sensations and all these feelings are totally normal. So don't be worried about it, because Reiki does no harm. Reiki is within everyone, basically. Everyone has this beautiful energy residing within them, but sometimes it takes a practitioner or receiving Reiki or um, learning Reiki for people to actually rediscover this energy that is within them, because we are all energy, we are all spiritual energy, and we're all connected to the same source, the same place. And I don't want to get too deep with these questions and the answers. I just want to keep them um, kind of straightforward, because you can get quite deep with it. And I like talking about Reiki, so I do get quite deep. So I don't wanna bore you guys. So that's basically what Reiki is and how it works. So the second question, I have frozen. Okay, I'm not sure if that's my end or your end. I'm not sure. At the minute, it's working at the minute. I'm moving and I haven't frozen. So, but I have just had to restart my laptop. So it may be lagging a little bit. I don't know. But hopefully it should resume shortly. I'll type a reply just in case you didn't hear that. Oh, I'm back now. Okay, that's lovely. So question number two I've got here is, what are the Reiki principles and how do we use them, or why do we use them? So the Reiki principles, if you're attuned to Reiki and you've learned Reiki or you know a little bit about Reiki, then you'll be aware of what the Reiki principles are. I've got um, a board here with all the Reiki principles on. And basically, it's for daily use, for daily meditation, and you can use them as many times as you want through the day. And it's basically, well, I'll read them out. So it starts off with, each one is just for today. So just for today, I let go of anger. Just for today, I let go of worry. Just for today, I will be grateful for my many blessings. Just for today, I will live my life honestly and with integrity. And just for today, I will be kind to every living thing or life. So, and that's basically what they are. And how do we use them? Well, we tend to use them in a meditation before we begin Reiki practice. And or we can just use them as a meditation as such, and just use them as a mantra in the mind and use the words over and over again, um, and just continue that use. And you will find a vibrational shift within the self. You will feel lighter. You will feel that life flows a little bit easier, and you surrender to kind of like what life can throw at you a little bit. So they are extremely powerful words. They are extremely powerful things to say, to bring into everyday life. And um, there's a lot of meditations out there that use mantras, that use words, and because words have energy, words have power, and they all have a meaning. So, and just sitting with them words and sitting with these Reiki precepts or these Reiki principles, um, they are extremely useful. And so they're great to use before a Reiki session. Even if you're not attuned to Reiki, just incorporating them into everyday life and repeating them in your mind, repeat them out loud. We tend to repeat them in a position known as gasho, where you put your hands in a prayer position and just repeat them out loud or in the mind, and just repeat them over and over and over again. And it's like lots of meditations that have mantra involved with them, a little bit like Ho'oponopono meditation, where you use the four phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And that's a Hawaiian meditation, but there's so many other meditations and healing meditations that we can use. And this is just one of them, but for Reiki purposes and for the Reiki principles, it's basically is the foundation of Reiki and what Reiki is built upon. Um, and the reason why we have them is to bring you into a calm, centered place within the self. And just the sheer act of coming into a gasho position brings that element of calmness within the self, allows to bring balance, because you're letting go of anger, you're letting go of worry, you're being grateful, you're living your life honestly, and you're being kind to all life. And the other reason why we have them is to bring that balance into everyday life. Is if you were a Reiki practitioner and you weren't balanced and you weren't calm, then your client, your recipient, whoever you're giving the Reiki to, can feel that from you. So if you're feeling anxious, if you're worried about something, if you're thinking about whatever happened last week or whatever happened is happening next week, and not being present, then your client will feel that. They can tune into that energy. So it's really, really important. And they really are. When I teach Reiki, the Reiki principles are kind of, for me, and I think for many Reiki masters, they are the building blocks of Reiki. And every part of Reiki is built on the foundations of the Reiki principles. And they go very deep. The philosophy behind them goes very deep, and the even some of the meanings go even way back before this into ancient China. So they are the words, the energy of the words, the meanings of the words have such power. So that's why we use them basically. Question three, can you learn Reiki? Obviously, yes, you can if you find a Reiki master teacher that is local to you. I advise to learn in person. You'll get a much more benefit from learning in person. But there are courses online, but I try not to. It's a bit of a grey area for a lot of people, and quite a lot of people that have learned online get upset with my viewpoint on it. But I'm not really. I'm in the mindset because I'm connected to like the um, UK Reiki Federation, the Reiki Council, things like that. Then they don't really. Although you can learn the philosophy of Reiki online, but the actual attunements really need to be done in person. But even the learning, I think, should be done in person because it's energy work. You know, you need to feel the energy of the person. You need to feel the energy of the teacher, and the teacher needs to feel the energy of the clients or the students. So it really is an important thing. And a lot of people like say, like to me, well, if you don't believe in distant attunements and distant learning, then you don't believe in distant healing. Well, distant healing is a totally different concept. For me, distant healing is, that is easily accessible. But to learn to be attuned to Reiki, which for me is it's a sacred moment between two people and two connections of energy, rather than just giving it out freely for very little cost across the internet. Um, it really doesn't hold, for me personally, just doesn't hold a lot of grounding. And I know a lot of Reiki masters probably feel the same. But that's just for me personally. That's just what I feel. So there we go. So yes, you can learn Reiki, and Reiki will come into your life when you need it for you. That's what I always say, and many people say that as well. And the Reiki master, the Reiki teacher, will come into your life as well when you need to meet them, when you need to incorporate Reiki into your life. Question number four: how long does it take to become a Reiki practitioner? Reiki practitioner is level two, or a Reiki teacher, which Reiki teacher, depending on how the Reiki master teaches, it can be level three, which how I teach is master and teacher together. Some Reiki master teachers teach where they teach the Reiki master, and then they'll do a separate course to teach Reiki teacher. I do Reiki master and teacher together. But it varies from person to person. Really, it depends how long. Because when you become attuned to Reiki, the level one is all about you. It's all about your own healing, being able to facilitate that healing into your own life, building a discipline, getting really into the Reiki and feeling the Reiki, and feeling how you're healing yourself day by day by doing the 21-day cleansing cycle of what we call it, which I'll get into a little bit later on. Um, for me, personally, for me, I did my level one. Um, as soon as I knew about Reiki, and I'd had a few sessions before I was even attuned to Reiki, I knew that I had to learn it and teach it. It was just something within me. It was just telling me that yes, this is something you need to do. It was like a calling. So I did level one, and then for me, it was about 5, 6 months later, I did my level two, and that was just before the pandemic hit. So it was just in the nick of time, Once I'd done my level two, I had a lot of deep inner healing. There was a lot of spiritual stuff that was going on internally that I had to deal with. And because your connection is kind of deepening, and your connection to yourself is deepening, so you start experiencing a lot of other stuff that kind of crops up that you need to deal with and that you need to heal internally. So for me, till I did my level three, it was about a year or just over a year. But even my Reiki master that trained me, it was, I think it was about maybe 3 years from his level one to his level two. So it did take him some time. And it varies from person to person. Some people want to race through it and learn it as fast as possible. For me, again, that's not really kind of what it's all about. It's about a process. It's about taking it step by step, and being mindful of yourself and being mindful of your own energy, your own healing, what's cropping up, what's coming up for you, and healing that and working with it, with the Reiki and with other modalities, other healing modalities as well. So yeah, so it can take time. I mean, in Japan, if you look to the east, where it was started being taught, it can take a lifetime to get to a Reiki master, um, and even just to do Reiki one. Usually, the students in Japan, they have to dedicate and discipline themselves before the Reiki teacher would even consider tuning them to level one. So it's much more different in the East than it is in the West. The westernized version is kind of like, it's like kind of a sped up version, but I try to bring the traditions of Reiki into my teachings, so that people can be more aware of the westernized version, but also the Eastern version of Reiki, because there is a big difference between the two. And everyone in the West wants everything like yesterday, whereas everyone in the East, it just happens when it happens. They're so present, and that's part of the discipline. That's part of their culture. It's a beautiful culture. So, question number 5, what are the attunements? So, the attunements, or the other name for them is Reiju, um, is basically that is the connection, between master and student, and it's also the opening, of your energy and connecting you to, that energy from within, and the energy from the universe, spiritual energy. And it is a very powerful process. And it is a really sacred practice between two people or a group of people, depending on how many people get taught, on the days. Um, but yeah, they are a really, really beautiful process, and people can react differently to them. So some people will have a very loving, gentle, harmonious introduction to Reiki, where they will just feel so at peace and just feel a new level of bliss. Some people, maybe not a lot happens. Other people may go through a lot of emotion coming up, a lot of, releasing might happen. Um, Other people, like myself, might be more inclined to be connected deeper to kind of spiritual things. So I became more aware of my spirit team, my guides, after my Reiki level one. So I had a lot of stuff that was going on, for me after my Reiki one. And then, like I said before, when I got to Reiki two, it was just like, it was something else just, um, opened up. The taps really started to open up with Reiki two, because you become attuned to the symbols. And the symbols they don't increase the power of the Reiki, but, um, you can use the symbols for, certain means, and to bring more, I suppose, focus and intention to the energy, to the healing, to the practice. So that is what the attunements or the reissue are. Question number 6 is, what is a 21-day clearing cycle and what is it for? So after you go through a Reiki attunement and you've done your teaching, you've done your learning, and so after that, you go away. So for me, 21 days after the teaching, I connect back with the students via Zoom, or online, and we'll have a little discussion about the 21 days, about what maybe cropped up, what they felt, if anything kind of got released, um, if they've sensed anything different in their life, a new level of peace, or just general things, really, general chit chat. But the 21-day clearing cycle is where, after you've been connected to the Reiki, a lot of this stuff can fire up, can churn up. And so that is kind of like what it's all about. It's all about you giving yourself Reiki every single day, for a full healing session. So you can split that up throughout the day. So you can do three 15-minute sessions, or a couple of 20, 25-minute sessions, or just a one 45 to an hour session. Totally up to you, totally, because everybody's life is different. People have different lives that are quite busy. Some have lives that are quite still and have the time to do that. For me, I try to do it either first thing in the morning or last thing at night, or both if I have the time, alongside a meditation as well. Um, but yeah, and that you tend to find through the 21-day clearing cycle, a lot of this stuff will churn up. You might feel drawn to not want to eat as much processed food. You might want to start eating a healthier diet. You might feel drawn to stop smoking because, or drinking alcohol, because people tend to find that when they become attuned to the energy, they look at their body differently, and they look at it as the vessel that is carrying their spirit, which fundamentally that's what it is. Your body is just the meat suit for your spirit to be carried within. So you start to want to take care of it a little bit better, and look after it. And so yeah, so what you put in your body, you can become a lot more conscious of what you put in your body. So now I only really try to drink filtered water. I use fluoride-free toothpaste. I'm very careful with the amount of meat that I eat. Although I do still eat meat, but I don't. If I eat a lot in one go, then I have quite a few days where I don't eat any. But that's just me. So everybody's different. You don't have to be vegan. You don't have to be religious. It's not a religious thing, when you start learning Reiki. But that is basically what the 21-day clearing cycle is all about. Plus, you're clearing emotions, you're clearing energy. You might feel that you need to go to the toilet a little bit more than usual. You might feel that you pass a lot more water, because water retention, again, is things that you're holding on to that you don't need to hold on to. So, yeah, that's kind of it with regards to the 21-day clearing cycle. And then, like I say, after the 21 days, it's nice for me to connect to the students and just find out what is going on with them, what they've gone through, what they've felt, if they've managed to do Reiki on themselves every day. And I also like to give my students some case studies so they can practice some Reiki, practice the hand positions that they've been taught on. I give them around about six case studies each to work on after their courses. So it gives them the chances to learn a little bit more and practice those hand positions, which is so important, to create that discipline in yourself as well. That's the reason why we have the 21 days, is to create the discipline to try and do that every single day. And there is a great thing that I did talk about in my last level 1 course with my students about the 21 days. So there is something really profound about 21. The number 21 comes up in a lot of spiritual texts, in a lot of ancient texts. The Buddha meditated under a tree for 21 days. Mikao Usui, the founder of this energy, meditated on Mount Kuriyama for 21 days on a fasting retreat. And after that fasting retreat of 21 days, he was shown and was found a level of, I suppose, enlightenment. And that's where all this information and downloads came from, because he wanted to learn about how to heal, how Jesus healed, how the Buddha healed. So the number 21 comes up in a lot of ancient scriptures. Also, the number 21. So the other thing I mentioned in my teaching is about the number 3. The number 3 is extremely powerful. It's the power number. So we tend to repeat things 3 times to give things the power. And Also, number seven is extremely powerful, and that's about attraction and abundance. Usually, that is what the number seven is usually about, but it varies from who you listen to and what you believe. And seven times by three is 21. So there is something profound about numbers, the use of numbers, and how they can be used in a spiritual setting. So that for me is why it's 21 days. It's bringing power. It's bringing that abundant reality into your reality, and you're creating the discipline by doing this healing for the 21 days. Number seven, how often should I receive Reiki? Again, it's entirely up to the individual, really, if they feel drawn towards it, to get the Reiki. Um, every week is fine. Every 2 weeks is fine. Once a month is fine. It really depends on the person, and how they're feeling. I mean, Reiki does no harm, so you can't overdose on Reiki. But it is nice to leave a bit of space between Reiki sessions, just to give yourself a chance to come back to yourself, come back to your balance, come back to knowing that you don't need to be reliant on Reiki. You don't need to have Reiki every single day. Although saying that as a practitioner or as a teacher or a student, giving yourself Reiki every single day is paramount. It's really, really important, um, because you want to keep yourself balanced. You want to keep yourself in that beautiful place, that beautiful mindset, that beautiful way of being within yourself, and just incorporating that into every single day and your life. So it's really important to try and do that. But yeah, for me, it totally depends on the recipient, on the client. So it's, if people are new to Reiki, then I tend to say to them, now you've had one Reiki session, I tend to say, you probably start feeling the effects after maybe three or four. Um, but again, it depends on the individual. Some people, I mean, I've had clients that have had a session with me and their life has just totally changed after one session. The whole outlook, the way they're being, their their behavior, things have just changed, and things have just come about and landed kind of in their lap after just one session of Reiki. Um, and other people like come to me like every week and want Reiki every week, and that's also fine. Because we're all different, we all experience things in different ways in life. So just feel what's right for you. And not Reiki isn't for everybody. Again, like I said, the Reiki and the practitioner and the Reiki master will come to you when you feel you need it. So yeah, you definitely need an open mind, Sonia. I totally agree. You do need an open mind. But again, like, a lot of people say that, but even if people don't believe in Reiki and don't think it will work on some level. There might be a little bit of a conscious barrier or the ego. But people that I've found that have received Reiki that have kind of like, oh yeah, whatever, it won't work. And then a few days later, they've things have happened that they can't really kind of explain, or they're behaving a little bit differently. But they just say it's coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. It's all synchronicity. It's all happened for a reason, and basically the Reiki energy has worked, and it's trying to show them, or the spiritual energy is trying to show them that you need this a little bit more in your life. Because if it's just having these small effects, imagine what's going to happen if you have it every single week. It will be amazing. So yeah, and it tends to be people that are more, I suppose, spiritually minded or on a healing journey or aware of Reiki. So that's why it's important as practitioners and teachers to not only fly the flag of Reiki, but be honest with the Reiki. And, so that's why I say Reiki isn't for everyone. Some people turn to yoga, some people turn to Tai Chi or Qigong, other healing modalities, or meditation. Meditation is extremely powerful, and that's why we incorporate meditation into Reiki as well. So it really is a really powerful healing modality that can do no harm. So yeah, that's kind of my advice on how often you should receive Reiki. It's totally up to you. I'm not one of these people that would say, "Oh, you need to come back to me every week." That's for me. That's not me being honest, um, or that's not me. That's me not living up the precepts and things like that. So I need to be honest with myself, and I need to be honest with the recipient or the student or whoever it may be. I need to be in that place with them, and just say, look, if you want to book another one next week, then that's fine. It's just totally up to you. Let me know what you feel. And that's the other thing about Reiki is it's getting the person to take a deeper look at themselves rather than just going with the flow and just listening and believing what else is saying around them, and listening to the conditioning and the programming that comes from the external. It's about looking internally and listening to your intuition, listening to that voice within that is telling you, actually, yeah, I think I need to do this a little bit more. I think, you know what, I'm going to start doing this every week. So book me in for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and then we'll see where we're at. So that's kind of like my belief on that. Great for you, Sonia. It's great that you're looking into yoga. I have tried yoga a few times, and it's okay. I'm not very good at it. I'm nowhere near as flexible as what I used to be. I used to do like Aikido and martial arts years ago. I was a lot more flexible, a lot more fitter, a lot more in better shape back then. So I could touch my toes quite easily. But yeah, I'm not as flexible as I used to be. But I do like doing easy yoga, easy stretches, because I do remember some of those practices that we did in the martial arts classes that I used to do. So I like to incorporate them, and I like to incorporate qigong into not every day, but just when I'm feeling sluggish. If my energy's feeling a little bit sluggish, and that's another thing about yoga, it can really help shift. But there's other things you can do in everyday life. You just getting out into nature, walking, moving your body, singing, dancing. I like to sing and move my body when I'm doing housework. Just daft things, just loving just the moment of doing housework, which most people absolutely hate. But why? Because you're working on the energy around you. You're working on it's not just a case of just dusting. And it's not just a case of hoovering or cleaning up dog hair or cat hair or whatever might be on the carpet. I'm just speaking from personal experiences, but you're actually cleaning the energy of the home as well. So your energy that goes into the actual cleaning, the physical cleaning, is also cleaning the energy. So you're bringing that nice vibrancy back into the home, opening the windows, using incenses or sage, things like that to just cleanse the energy in the home is another really great way to help the energy. So, question number 8 I've got here is, what can Reiki help with? So, Reiki can be used for many things. If you're subscribed to the channel and you watch some of my videos, I do talk about the different things that Reiki can help with. But Reiki is really good for, it's a holistic form of healing. So it goes to kind of like the root cause of a problem. And when we talk about that, we always talk about the layers of an onion, and it's a metaphor that many healers and many people in this realm do talk about the layers of an onion and peeling back the layers of an onion and getting to the middle, getting to the root cause of the problem. And that's what holistic healing is. It's looking at every aspect of your life. So it's not just the energy, although energy is everything. It's also kind of like what you're going to do to, when you leave that Reiki session, what you're going to do to help harness and improve that is going on within yourself. So that's another part of the holistic side of things. But Reiki can help with pain, it can help with sleep, it can help with like insomnia, it can help with your mental health, anxiety, it helps to boost your immune system, it helps lower blood pressure, it helps your nervous system because it takes you from the sympathetic into the parasympathetic because of your breathing, because of your just connecting into a deep center place within the self, helps you to relax, helps the body relax. So it helps your energy flow. And once your energy starts to flow, you start to release things inside. You release blocks, things that have maybe held you back or stopped you, or you've not felt confident enough, or you've not felt grounded, or you don't feel you don't feel like deserving of love, so it interplays and works on all these different energies that reside within each and every one of us, because again, we are all energy. And all these emotions, all this energy resides around within us, in our organs, in our nervous system, in our brain, and it can all be controlled with the breath, with a touch, with Reiki, with meditation, qigong, all different forms of practices can help. And again, so that's why I always say it's about trying to find what works for you. And so, although I use Reiki every day, I also meditate every day. I also like to try and get out and walk every day. I also try to be mindful of how much water I'm drinking every day to keep myself flushed, to keep all the like toxins moving through me. I try not to drink. Well, I don't drink alcohol really. I don't smoke anymore. So I try to live a more harmonious, balanced life, and that harmony and harmoniousness that we feel in ourselves, even if that's a word, um, it kind of shows on the outside, and you feel better, you feel more alive, you feel more vibrant, you feel more at peace with yourself, and that transcends to other people that are around you. They'll be able to feel that energy. They'll get that feel good energy off you when you're feeling that as well. So um, what else can Reiki can help with? It can help with like appointments. It can help with your anxiety. It can help with you can send Reiki to past circumstances. You can send Reiki to the future. You can send Reiki to your Akashic records. You can send Reiki to your higher self, to your spirit guides. You can send Reiki to your friends and family. You can send Reiki to your food, to your water. You can send Reiki to your plants, to your pets, your animals. There really is, if it's natural and if it's of a natural means within the planet, you can send Reiki to your crystals. Then you can send Reiki to it. I always talk about this in my Reiki course as well, but I use Reiki on a PlayStation 4 controller because it wasn't working properly and it wasn't connecting to the device. So that was like my partner's at the time. I have it now, but I don't really use it that much. But um, so what happened was, because it wasn't working, so I thought, you know what, I'll try and send Reiki to it. So I just visualized the PlayStation controller in my mind's eye and just saw it in my hands, and I drew some Reiki symbols over it and sent Reiki to it, and it's still working to this day. It's still fine. It's because within it there'll be metal, there'll be components of ore and metal, so that's all from nature as well. So it's helped. So Reiki can help on so many levels. It can help with pregnancy. It can help with dreams. You can, yeah. There is kind of like, there isn't really a limit to what you can send Reiki to. Just be adventurous with Reiki and just try sending it to whatever you feel needs it. 9, is the Reiki the same as spiritual healing? So this is a really interesting question because um, for me, a lot of people class spiritual healing and Reiki as kind of like two separate things. But usually, when you start working with Reiki, you're connecting to your own spirit, you're working on your own spirit. And a lot of people tend to try and work with their spirit team or their spirit guides if they're aware of them. But For me personally, I feel it's all kind of under the same umbrella. It's the same thing. Some people uh, class class themselves as spiritual healers because they only work with um, a certain guide that assists with the healing. So it's the actual um, it's the healing that is coming from the spirit. But if you think about Reiki, it's coming from your spirit because you're working on your spirit. You're working on your energy. And for me, spirit and energy is all the same thing. So when we talk about negative energy and positive energy, um, and benign energy and malevolent energy, it's all kind of the same thing. It all comes under the same umbrella. So for me personally, I just class it all as the same thing. I don't think of anything being more powerful than the next because it's all coming from a similar source. I actually feel that Reiki is probably slightly higher frequency than spiritual energy. But again, it's all coming from the same place. If it comes from the highest of intentions and the highest good of the person, then it's coming from the right place, and that for me is it. That's how it is. So, question 10, is Reiki and energy healing the same thing? Well, yes, basically, because what I was saying before about how it helps you find and release this energy that might be stagnant within you. It helps you to unlock things within the self, and you might become more confident, more grounded, more creative. You might be looking at aspects of yourself that you want to work on. That is all energy. It's all releasing energy that's within you. And again, spirit, energy, for me, it's all the same thing. It's non-duality. So a lot of practitioners come from Reiki with a dualistic sense, where for me it's non-duality. It goes beyond the physical realms. So we can't really say, "Oh, it's there, it's there, it's there." We can't point to it because it's not tangible. We just know that it's working. It's having an effect, and it's always having a positive effect on the person. Question 11, what are chakras? So chakras come up quite a lot, especially in Reiki. Traditional Reiki, Japanese Reiki, don't really use chakras. They use 3 points on the body, which is the third eye, um, the heart, and what they call the hara, or we would probably call the sacral in the westernized version of Reiki. But we've got the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, solar plexus, sacral, and your root chakra. And each of those chakras corresponds to um, a sense of awareness within the self, a sense of your energy within you. And the further you go up your chakras, you connect more to divine, you connect to source, you connect to God, you connect to the universe, spiritual energy, whatever you want to call it, whatever your definition might be, source, etc. Um, so basically the root chakra is your stability. It's who you are in life on the earth plane. And so if your root chakra is out of balance, you'll feel ungrounded. Your mind will be all over the place. You probably feel quite anxious. You'll probably have issues of self-esteem or self-security, self-awareness. You might have panic attacks, and just this general feeling of unrest within the self. That is what um, that is where the energy from the root chakra resides. So if you need to work on the root chakra, then that's the area that we need to work on. So that's you, Sonia. um, Yeah, I think everyone can have aspects of it, and it's it's not a bad thing. I think a lot of people think like, oh, because this is out of balance, and I've got this blocked, and that's blocked, and things might be going on, and that's part of life. Life is here to teach us things, and we're not here to live life and everything to be rosy all the time. Because if it was, what we're learning, what we're getting from it, what level of development we're getting from it if everything is perfect. So that's why we come to Earth. Earth is a school for learning, and only the bravest souls come to Earth to do their learning, to do their healing, to do the work that they need for their spirit and also for the spirit of the collective. Um, so the sacral chakra, moving on, because I get whisked away with stuff. Sacral chakra is to do with your sexual energy, your creative energy, your abundance. Um, and so if you're feeling, if you're feeling out of whack with your sexuality, if you're not sure of who you are sexually, if you're, you might be straight, bi, gay, whatever, you just don't know, you don't want to commit to something, that can affect your sacral chakra. Maybe if you're, I like doing art, I like doing music. Sometimes that comes and it goes. Sometimes I go through spells where I love to do lots of artwork and I just paint and paint and paint and paint. Or I do music, 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 music. And then it'll just stop for months and I won't touch them again because I've done what I need to on that energy. There's other elements that need healing. So that's where all that energy comes from. Solar plexus to do with your confidence, to do with your drive in life. So if you feel stuck, if you feel like life is difficult and you keep getting stopped, or there's blocks in life, or if you don't feel confident, you don't feel like you can face situations, that is where that energy comes from, is your solar plexus. Majority of people usually tend to have issues with the root and solar plexus chakras. But again, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just part of life. It's part of the learning and part of the healing process, and learning more about yourself, learning about the different aspects of what happens in everyday life and how it affects you. Then we're moving up into the heart space, we're moving to the heart chakra, where this is all about love. It's about self-love. It's about being able to receive love, but also to be able to give love as well, and being open to love. And it's also your spiritual center, to your spirit. So a lot of your information, your intuitive information, what you feel, empathic energy comes from your heart. And so it's a really, really powerful center. So when you start going from your heart up over your spiritual activation energy, you're starting to open up. Your throat is where your next energy center, where, so if you've got thyroid issues, always have throat issues, colds, flus, then you've got something going on with the throat chakra. If you're unable to speak your truth, you will tend to have throat issues. If you speak too much, you will have throat issues. So I always tend to find, after I've done a course, although it didn't happen this last course, but when I do a course and I'm teaching, because I'm speaking for 8 hours, 2 days, and I never normally speak that much, I always end up with a very sore throat and a cold, because it's been overactive. I've used it too much. So yeah, so that's kind of like what happens. And it's being able to use your throat as a clear vessel for you. So what you're feeling, what you need to say, it needs to come out. If it doesn't come out, you will have issues around the throat, around the mouth, and that part of the body. Again, moving up, third eye is to do with your intuition, your clairvoyance, your foresight, dreams. It's a psychic center. It's a really, really powerful psychic center. So you'll get a lot of visions in this area of the mind. That's what they call the mind's eye, and that is one of the most heavily targeted energy centers in the world, because if you can see what's going to happen, if you can see ahead, if you've got clear vision and you're looking through things and you can see through the veil, that's what Wizard of Oz was all about. Behind the curtain, you look behind the curtain and you see that the people behind the curtain are not powerful at all. So that's why they don't want you to open your third eye, and that's why they stick fluoride in the water, they stick fluoride in toothpaste, they stick poisons in food, heavily targeting the third eye and the body to keep you suppressed and dumbed down. So there we go. That's just that's my thoughts, because I know it to be right. I know that how much I have changed energetically and physiologically since I've filtered water and used non-fluoride toothpaste. And then the top of the head, we've got the crown chakra, which is obviously to do with spirit, it's to do with consciousness, it's to do with connecting to your spirit guides, your higher self. You tend to channel from there. So the information comes in, your information, your requests go out, and it's how you receive the information is through all of that energy that is within you. So once that is all balanced, then you will receive the information. You will see it. You will receive clear vision. You'll be able to say what you're seeing and what you're feeling. You will feel what you're feeling, and you'll have the confidence to be able to speak that. You'll be able to tune into it because you'll be grounded, you'll be stable. So that is where all this energy and the energy healing part of your chakras comes from. It's vast. It's a really vast subject, the chakras. Number 12. So how does distance healing work? Distance healing basically works the same as contact healing. Find somewhere comfortable, lie down, the practitioner at their end of the world, wherever they may be, because when it's distant, you can receive healing wherever you are in the world. I could send healing to the moon if I wanted to. Um, so, yeah, so you just lie down, you receive the healing. You might feel heat, you might feel tingles, you might feel cool spots, you might see colors. Um, so yeah, it's beautiful. I love distance healing. I love sending distance healing. I get a lot of information through distance. You tend to get more information through distance healing than I do with contact healing. Um, and I think that's just because I'm kind of centered in my own energy, and there's no other person's energy really physically there with me, although energetically they are there. So I'm picking up a lot more through their energy. When I'm with a person in contact healing, for me, it tends to be more of an empathic connection. So I'll feel what is going on with them, usually internally, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. So that's kind of like how that works for me. But distance healing is amazing, and every practitioner kind of does it differently, and just does what's right for them. Again, there is no right or wrong way to do it. Question 13: can cancer patients receive Reiki? Yes, they can. Cancer patients will absolutely love Reiki, and what is really good about the Reiki and cancer patients is usually cancer patients tend to be on very harsh, invasive chemicals which kill the body. And they're trying to kill every cell in the body, including they kill the cancer cells, but they also kill the good cells. What the Reiki will do is Reiki works because it's a natural energy, it works for your highest good. So it works with your immune system, it works with your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body. Again, this whole holistic system, and it helps your body to fight, to repair. And your body's healing process will speed up when you receive Reiki, because when you're in these deep, relaxed places, your body's healing ability speeds up. And this is proven, this is scientifically proven now. So when you meditate, when you have Reiki, when you have other healing modalities, because you become so relaxed, so at peace. Hypnosis, I'm learning hypnosis at the minute. Hypnosis, my God, it's so relaxing and so powerful, not just for the recipient, but also for me as well. So, yeah, there are lots of great healing modalities that can help. But cancer patients really, you tend to find they really love Reiki more than anything else, because they don't have to do anything. They can just lie there. They might be asleep, and they can just receive it, and just be at peace and not have to do anything. They can just lie there, and you don't even have to do the hand positions. What we tend to get taught. You can just hold their hand and just intend for the Reiki to go to them for the highest good, and just feel the love from your heart going to them, just wanting them to feel better, to sleep at ease, to have their pain reduced, and just to feel that loving connection of another person is so powerful. That the energy of love is the most powerful force in the universe. And again, that is another reason why it's heavily targeted. And fear tends to be used more than the power of love. And that's what a lot of people have talked about in the past, about the power of love and how amazing it is and how healing it is, to everybody. Question 14, we're getting there. How long should Reiki be given to an animal, child, or basically something smaller than an adult? So it depends on the size of the animal. Animals love Reiki. Animals absolutely adore Reiki. They just relax. They animals, I would think, can probably see Reiki. When I've been giving Reiki, my dogs want to just come and lie on top of me and just fall asleep. They absolutely love Reiki. Um, and what I tend to find is when my dogs have had enough Reiki, they get up and walk off. It might be 5 minutes, it might be 10 minutes, it might be 20 minutes. I would say 20 minutes is about maximum for a dog, small dog. Um, Babies, again, 10, 15 minutes, that's all you really need. So just think about the size of the animal or the person that is receiving the Reiki, and just reduce it. And if you're in any doubt, you can always get in touch with me via my website, via this video, and comment below, if you have any questions. And just adding on to that, like I said at the beginning of this video, if you do have any questions that you want to ask about Reiki, please put them below in the comments box. If you're watching this video and you haven't managed to catch it live, then stick them below in the comments box and I will get back to you. I'll probably do an actual video rather than a live. I just thought I'd do this for a bit of fun. Question 15, the last one. What else can Reiki be used for? Again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't really want to put a cap on it. You can give Reiki to pretty much anything, but I like giving Reiki to my crystals. I like giving Reiki to my oracle cards. I like giving Reiki to my tarot cards. I like giving Reiki to singing bowls. I like using Reiki in the room. I like cleansing the home with Reiki. That's one of my services on my website, is a home and land cleanse, where I use Reiki and I use various shamanic tools as well to cleanse and clear the energy of the home, of the land from a distance. I'll do that distantly. And again, I receive a lot of information that way to do with the land. Like I mentioned before, PlayStation 4 controller, gave Reiki to the PlayStation 4 controller and it's still working well. Again, like we've talked through this, you can give Reiki to your friends, to your family, to your clients. You can give free sessions. You can, once you've got insurance and you're registered with an organization such as the Reiki Federation, then you can go and give Reiki on a voluntary basis at charities such as Mind or Macmillan or somewhere like that. They will be really thankful for that. You can give Reiki to boxes of incense. You can give Reiki to your sage sticks and just put the intention that you want to clear all negative energy around the home and just really have positive, loving, healing energy to remain in the home. You can give Reiki to, there's just fruit, your food, your water, your vegetables, your pets, your plants. There really is no end to the amount of things you can give Reiki to. If it's of a natural form, this is what I always say, if it's of a natural form or it's going to have natural elements in it, you can give Reiki to it. No problem. No problem. So there we go. I've covered all 15 questions. So if you've got any questions, if you just joined or if you're still watching, and you have any questions about Reiki, if there's anything you want to ask me now while I'm here, then feel free to just comment in the box and ask away. But if not, then I will leave the stream here. I'm just going to give it a little bit of time because I know there is lag between the video and between the comments coming up. There's usually about 30 seconds to a minute, I think, between comments, between me receiving the comment and my video. So I will hang around a little bit. In the meantime, do you want me to pull? Would someone like me to pull a card for them, to give them a message from the oracle cards, to give them some guidance? Are you feeling a little bit lost in life at the minute? Do you need some Do you need some validation? Have you got an issue that you're facing at the minute that you would like a message from the oracle cards from? Then I can do that. I've just dropped them all on the floor because I'm stupid. Because I'm silly. Because I'm not watching what I'm doing. And that's the other thing, I've just said that I am silly. You shouldn't, or I am stupid. You shouldn't use these words for yourself. Um, I am, what are you? Just say what you are. I am powerful. I am strength. I am strength. I am grounded. I am confident. Just been talking about that, and look what card came out. Success. Confidence. Success. So, can we have a card for Sonia Talbot, please? Sonia Talbot would like a message of guidance. Let's just see what is going on. See what comes from. Ooh. Wisdom. You've got the owl spirit. You've got wisdom. So the owl spirit is showing you and telling you that there is so much more within you waiting to come out. You probably already know this. You're probably already aware of this already. But the owl is significant. So if you see owls in life, if you're aware of owls, if you feel drawn to owls, I have an owl guide. Actually, I don't see the owl very often, but I do have an owl guide. And owls are connected to wisdom. So looking at the card as well, there was a lot of red in the card, and wisdom usually comes from places when we are grounded, when we are centered within ourselves. So just remember to keep yourself grounded, keep yourself centered, keep yourself focused on your own energy. Try not to displace your energy too much or too far and wide, because the wisdom won't come in easy, it won't come intuitively. And as we can see in the card, the fairy or the lady, she's pondering quite a bit. So sometimes you might feel the need to ponder. You might feel like you go into thought quite a lot. You go into thought quite deeply, and this is also like just another thing that we tend to face in life. But sometimes thought can go into procrastination. So try not to procrastinate too much. And if you've got an idea, if something, because when you're in line with your energy, if something comes up, something comes through, and you feel something, you want to follow something, don't overthink it. Just go with it. Go with the flow. If it feels right and it resonates with you, then go with it, because it came up for a reason for you to be aware of. So that wisdom is there. That wisdom is within you, waiting to be found. Okay, so there we go. We've had no more questions. So I'm going to bid you guys farewell. I'm going to say thank you for tuning in if you jumped on the live. If you didn't, then this video will be on my channel, so I will share it around so you can join in. You can have a look. You can put your comments below in the boxes. And if you, like I say, if you have any questions about Reiki, or if you have any questions about the channel, what I'm up to, what is going on, if you want to ask me anything, then again, you can put that in the comments section below. And I will see you all in the next video. So I hope these questions have been insightful. I hope they've given you some information today that makes you think a little bit more about Reiki, maybe opens you up a little bit more to the concept of Reiki, of how it can be used in everyday life, how powerful it is, but also how powerful you are. So don't forget that. Don't forget how powerful you are. So have a wonderful day wherever you are. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening. Sonia, thanks for joining, and I will see you all soon. So take care, much love, and bye for now.